Hey guys, it's Mark with Photonify again. I've got some great real estate presets that I'd like to share with you today. This video is broken up into two different sections. First, we're going to walk through how to install Lightroom presets, and then we're going to, in the second half, if you already know how to do that, we're going to look at some of the applications of these presets to a couple of different photos that we have. So let's jump right in and take a look at how these real estate presets perform. Okay, so after you have made a purchase on Photonify.com of one of our Lightroom presets, you'll be taken to the purchase confirmation page, which you see here on the left, and you'll also receive a purchase confirmation email, which you see here on the right. So no matter what preset or what bundle you purchase, it'll be the same process here. So here we've purchased the Autumn 2 presets on the purchase confirmation page we see, and on the right is the email with that same file, Autumn 2 presets. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to download the file from both places, from the website as well as the email. And so we'll click here, and that will download the file onto our computer. All right, there you go. It's in my download folders now. And I'm also going to come to the email and I'm going to download the file from there as well. So click on Autumn 2 Presets. It will give us a redirect to a website where the file is hosted, and it will download that same file onto our computers. All right, there you go, right in the downloads folder on my computer. I do want to point out that you don't need to download from both locations. I was demonstrating that you are able to download from either location. So you should be good to go. Okay, so now that you have the file downloaded, let's figure out how to install it inside of Lightroom. So I'm going to move it here onto my desktop so we can work with it. And I'm going to unzip the file by just double clicking it, and my computer will unzip the folder inside, and there we have the Autumn 2 presets. So one thing I would like to point out about what is inside of this folder, as well as all of the other preset collections, is that we have 3 different file types, and that allows you to work with these presets on both the mobile and desktop, as well as the legacy Lightroom. So we have the old LR template and the newer XMP, and then the mobile DNG file in there, all for your convenience. But all 3 of them are the same preset, just in different file formats. All right, now we're going to figure out how to get those presets that we just downloaded inside of Lightroom. So the first thing we'll do is come up to the menu bar to the Lightroom Classic and click on Preferences. The second tab in, you see Presets, and from there we'll go down and click on Show All Other Lightroom Presets. And what that's going to do is open up our Finder, our file browser. And I like to do the column view here so I can see the hierarchy. And we'll see a folder named Lightroom, and inside of that we'll see a folder named Develop Presets. And then inside of that one we'll see 2 subfolders, Lightroom Presets and User Presets. What we'll want to do with the preset that we just downloaded is drop it next to the Lightroom Presets and the User Presets right here in the Develop Presets folder. And so I'm going to go back to my desktop, and I'm going to grab this folder of presets and move it into that folder, that Develop Preset folder, right next to these 2 other folders. Okay, just drop it right in there. Yes, let's move it. And there you go. That's essentially what it takes to install it. But there's one more step, and that is to restart Lightroom. So once we restart it, Lightroom will then recognize that there's some new presets in the file structure, and it will then populate the preset panel on the left. So let's go ahead and quit out of Lightroom and start it back up and see if it can recognize the new presets that we just downloaded and put into the file structure. Okay, so let's start Lightroom back up. One thing you'll notice that'll happen is that Lightroom is going to scan through its file structure, and it's going to see if there's anything new there, and we just put some new presets there. It's also going to see if the format is compatible. If it's not, then it will convert that format. There we go, we just saw it convert the format to the new XMP format for us. And so you didn't have to do anything with that folder that you received from Photonify that had the 2 extra files, the LR template and the DNG. Lightroom took care of that for you, and it created the preset that was compatible with Lightroom and then made the category of it so that you didn't have to do anything manually yourself. And that category shows up here on the left side right there. It says Autumn 2 Presets. So there we go. There's our presets now installed here in Lightroom, going from photonify.com to your desktop to the folder file structure under Lightroom, and now in your Develop tab inside of Lightroom. And you should be good to go. And this works for all of the presets from Photonify, the free ones as well as the premium ones. And you are set on installation. So now let's talk about using them. Okay, now that you have the real estate preset collection installed, I would like to walk you through some applications of the presets to these 4 photos that I have here inside of Lightroom. So I'm inside of the Library tab of Lightroom, and I have some photography here that was taken of various real estate. We have some bedrooms, and we have an outdoor picture of a home with a swimming pool. And so let's go and see what the presets look like when applied to these. So let's go over to the Develop tab so that we can apply some of these presets. Okay, so the existing photo here, the original, we've got a lot of white and some brown from the furniture, some glossy wood over here, and some shiny marble flooring with brown and white animal skin as per the norm in bedrooms. Okay, so let's apply one of the presets. Earlier I had selected a preset prior to this video that I thought would be a good match. But before we get there, we'll kind of mouse over some of the other ones so you can get kind of a feel of what could be based on your specific taste on what preset would apply here, like what look and feel you're trying to achieve. So not every preset is good for every photo, and I'm sure you know that by now. But there are some photos that are actually really good with many different presets. And so it's a matter of finding which one is the best for you, for your taste, and for your objective. All right, so in this one, I'm actually wanting to preserve the whites, but to bring out a little bit more contrast to show the distinction between the furniture and the floor. It's difficult to see in the original photo, but when I apply this preset, it actually makes the floor really stand out. So let me do the before and after here. So on this one, the transition between the bed and the floor, you can see it, but only if you're looking hard. On this, it is a clear distinction between the bed and the floor, right? And the reflectivity of the floor over here, it makes it look as if the floor is kind of like a sea, like water. It's not really there. In this one, on the right side where the preset is applied, you can see the floor clearly. In fact, the lines in the floor show up a lot better than they do over here. You're not sure on this side if it is a reflection of the cabinets or if it's a line on the floor. This one, it's pretty distinct and clear what is part of the floor. So that's why I picked this one. And you might be trying to achieve a different look and feel. And this one I was trying to find a way to contrast the different pieces of the view of the picture here, specifically the bed and the floor on this right side and the tile over here, or the marble floor. All right, so that is the first one. Let's go to the next photo. All right, this one has not a reflective floor. This is quite different. This room also has a lot of white in it, but it has darker furniture. It has carpet on the floor. We have some windows that are letting in outdoor light as well as some indoor light. You can see that's coming out of these lamps, and we have, a lot some coloring here where there's not a lot of contrast, that we can't really see the details as much in the transition of this color here on the blanket, which is okay. But this is kind of what we're set up with to begin with, and so let's apply a preset that we think will work. Now, when I see a room that has mixed lighting, indoor plus outdoor lighting, you're going to want to lean more toward HDR, a high dynamic range, because you're going to have a lot of shadows, and you're going to have a lot of blown out areas as well. The sun can be very bright and indoors can be very dark. And so HDR is great. Now this photo that I'm added in preset 2 right now, this isn't the raw format. If you did have the raw format, these presets work even better, and then you would be able to do even more with the color sliders on the right. But we're trying to apply a preset and do a one-click, quick solve, and get a great looking photo in the least amount of time possible. So let's find a preset here. Earlier I looked, and the one that I thought was good was 3 HDR. All right, now that actually adds a lot of texture. I like it, and there's a lot of grain too. So it's like unapologetic. We're not going for a crisp and clean look. We're going for a statement that this room is trying to make. Right? This room is actually more than just a bedroom. It's a statement of style, and you know there's nothing to be ashamed of when you add grain and you add some aging filters and you add some fade and those types of things. And this HDR preset helps you achieve that. So I really like the 3 HDR for this second photo. Right, and there it is. Okay, so the next one here, we also have a mixture of indoor and outdoor lighting. Again, if I had the raw photo format of this one, it'd be a lot easier to mix with the highlights on this side and the shadows on this side and really do what I wanted to flatten out the image. I could also apply some brushes with some overlay and some filters so that I could really, really dig in. But you know what? We don't have time to do that to all the photos. If you're trying to create a portfolio of real estate photography, you're wanting to apply some presets and get a consistent look across a whole bunch of images. And so what we're going to do is we're going to apply the preset here that I had looked at earlier, and that is number 12 HDR, similar to the first one, but this one, because of the dynamic lighting, we want to achieve, you know, a different look and feel. And again, this one is unapologetic in the aging of the room. We want it to look aged. We want it to look more grainy. Here we go, against the original, adding character quite a bit. We shifted the color of the lights from yellow to more of an orange, right? In this case, the white light coming in from outside, we can't eliminate that entirely over here. But what we did was we pushed all of the whites in the room to match that one, and including in the furniture. So I like that one. All right, that's the third one, and that's 12 HDR. Okay, this last one's really interesting. I mean, we're looking at something that looks pretty nice. It's a nice photo. It's a blue sky, nice blue swimming pool, landscaping, some greens and browns, and some brick over here, aqua blues and things like that. But we want to add some style. We want to make this look like it's an expensive, nice pool area that someone's going to pay top dollar for. And so we're going to apply a preset to this photo that will communicate that when someone looks at the photo. So right around this area, we're looking at the 5 HDR. So the 5 Plus and the 5 HDR, we see there's a slight difference in these. And keep in mind, a lot of our preset packs have 3 of a certain preset. So 5 Plus, and 5 HDR. Now, depending on the photo you're looking at, there might be dramatic differences in these 3, or there might be subtle differences in these 3. But these 3 presets that are all based on the same foundation add additional contrast when you go to the plus, right? Some contrast and some sharpness. And then when in this case, we have HDR as the third step. Our other preset packs have fade. But in this one, we want HDR because in real estate, there's a lot of mixed lighting scenarios where you are indoor with windows shining in, or you're outdoors with a lot of vegetation and maybe there's some patio covering and you're wanting to show as much of the property as possible. And so we have HDR. And so in this specific photo, I want to apply the 5 HDR, and let's take a look at that next to the original, right? It adds character there. Look at what it does to the tiling on the roof, right? Whereas before it's a subtle difference, we really, really call that out. as like a style statement, right? The brick lines are a lot more amplified, right? We have some muted tones as well. The greens are muted and the lines of the architecture are exaggerated, and we preserve for the most part the blues and the skies. So there you go. I like that one. All right, that's 5 HDR from the Real Estate preset pack. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it gave you a perspective of what is possible with these presets, and I encourage you to go out and have a good time applying them. Find the ones that work for you, and different presets will work in different situations, and so don't be shy to apply them. If you really feel adventurous, you can come over and start messing with the color sliders, but the whole point of these presets is to help you have a one-click solution so you can get done much faster. So hopefully this was helpful, and thanks for watching. All right, now that you've seen the Real Estate presets in action, hopefully that was helpful to give you a little guide to see what's possible. You can head over to Photonify.com and grab your presets if you haven't done that already. We also have a freebie sample preset where you can download one for free to get an idea. You can apply it to one of your photos. You can also get the mobile and desktop compatible versions of the presets so that you can apply presets on the go. So hopefully you can, hopefully this was helpful. So head over to Photonify.com to find out more. We'll see you in the next one.